Our Anna Saheb Dange College of Pharmacy has organized the series of webinar session. Into that, around 44 speakers from the different area will guide our students. Now, I request Professor Khade sir to introduce today's speaker, Dr. D.A. Bhagwat sir. So before that, I'll tell you that the Dr. D.A. Bhagwat sir requires no need of introduction because all of you know very well him and his contribution towards the pharmacy profession. But still, we need to follow the protocol. So I request Professor Khade sir to please introduce today's speaker, Dr. D.A. Bhagwat sir. Khade sir.
Thank you, Zangde sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Zangde sir. Welcome to Dr. Bhagwat sir. I introduce to today's speaker Bhagwat sir. Bhagwat sir is now working as assistant professor in Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Pharmacy, Kolhapur. Dr. Bhagwat sir has 12-year teaching experience as well as research experience. He has taught almost all subjects of pharmaceutics for UG as well as PG and pre-PhD course in pharmacy. He has authored 6 books and published more than 40 research papers in national as well as in international journals. He has guided more than 35 students of B Pharmacy and more than 30 students of M Pharmacy student for different research project. He has filed 2 patents, and most important things is he received a Outstanding Assistant Professor Award and Best Teaching Award in 2019 and 4 Best Faculty Award. Currently, Dr. Durgacharan Bhagwat sir has working as an assistant professor of pharmaceutics in Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Pharmacy, Kolhapur. Now I would like request to Professor Zangde sir to please continue further session. Zangde sir.
Thank you, Professor Khade sir. Now, if you look into the few years back, the perception of the people towards the pharmacy profession, pharmacy education is just to start the medical store. But nowadays the scenario has changed. Now, students have the different options. Now it's up to the student now where to go. Now today's topic is the new career avenues in pharmacy profession and what does expected from the students. So this topic from the Dr. D.A. Bhagwat sir will definitely help our student to make their decision about their career crystal clear. So I request Dr. D.A. Bhagwat sir to please continue with their session, sir. Bhagwat sir.
First of all, I am very much thankful to management and principal of Anna Saheb Dange College of Pharmacy, Ashta. Then I am also thankful to Sadhne sir, then Jagtap sir, Ibnus Tambuli sir, Ashish Mulani sir, Zangde sir, Khade sir, P.A. Jadhav sir, and all team of Anna Saheb Dange College of B Pharmacy, Ashta, for inviting me to interact with students in this lockdown situation under your platform webinar series May 2020. And thank you very much for giving me chance to interact with students in this lockdown situation, as well as I am in home quarantine, and I am happy to share whatever knowledge I have with students in this situation. Thank you once again for your kind invitation. Now today's our topic is new career avenues in pharmacy profession, and what these career avenues expect from students, B.Pharm or D.Pharm or PG graduate students. Before going to discuss different new avenues, we should go through our education system or growth in India. Our pharmacy education is run under the Pharmacy Act 1948, and which run the different pharmacy courses such as Diploma in Pharmacy, B.Pharm course, Bachelor of Pharmacy, and M Pharmacy. But there was one education regulation in 1991 was enacted, and if we see recently we have changed the B Pharmacy syllabus, but Diploma in Pharmacy syllabus is still that of year 1991. Then in 2008, by considering the need of some clinical pharmacists, uh, Pharmacy Council of India also introduced PharmD regulation 2008, and they have started the PharmD course. Then BPharm regulation again revised in 2014, and it is implemented in from 2016-17. There is another regulation, BPharm Pharmacy Practice Regulation, also enacted in 2014, which also creates some more avenues in pharma profession for our Indian pharmacists. Then MPharm Regulation 2014 was enacted, and it is also implemented from 2016-17. And Pharmacy Practice Regulation 2015. This is also one of the regulation enacted by the Pharmacy Council of India, and which helps, or by this regulation now pharmacist can charge the patient for counseling purpose. Now, if we see the all these regulation and education system in India, means after completion of your plain B Pharmacy course, the most of students move towards the pharma industry. Now, why it is so? Because if we see the statistics in Indian pharma industry, the India is the largest provider of generic drug globally, and Indian pharma sector industry supplies over 50% of global demand for various vaccines, 40% of generic demand in US, and 25% of all medicine in UK. And presently, over 80% of antiretroviral drug is supplied by India globally to combat AIDS disease. And if we see the ranking of Indian pharma industry globally, the India ranks third most competitive nation in global pharma index. And that's why students are moving towards the industrial pharmacy. And now, if we see why this India is the pharma hub, there are some factors affecting. Means globally, if we see the China, Japan, and India, these are the pharma hub. Why India is pharma hub? There are some factors affecting. Most important factor is the cost efficacy. Means we have low production cost. Second important factor is the economic drivers. That is high economic growth in last 2-3 decades. If we see, then policy support. This is most important. Our government always support different policies. And another one is the increasing investment. If you see in last 2-3 decades, there is a huge investment in the R&D by MNCs, different multinational companies. So this is why this pharma in India will become one of the hub in India, and globally India ranks up to third. Now, I think all of you are the graduate student, and you have seen the scope of pharmacy in first year BPharm only. This traditional scope or the current opportunities in pharma profession, these are classified into 3 different categories. First one is the practicing or practice setting. Second one is the industry, and third one is the academics and regulatory. In practice setting, you can start your retail pharmacy as a community or hospital or clinical pharmacy. Then in academic and regulatory, teaching is there. The research is also most important avenues. Then clinical research is there, regulatory affairs is there. And if you move towards the industry, there are means traditional career. You can make your career in production, QA, QC, then packaging, regulatory, sale and marketing. These are some traditional and career opportunities in pharma profession. Now, what is new happening in pharma profession in India as well as in globe as a career point of view? We'll see one by one so that you can make your career in these new avenues. Now, if we think the drug discovery and development, it starts in the R&D. R&D is one of the platform where we can start the drug discovery and development. Now, R&D structure is also now get changed and can make your in different areas. So in R&D, there is a screening of new chemical entities takes place. Then analytical and formulation development is there. For analytical development, you should have knowledge of different instrument, analytical instrument, handling of these different analytical instruments, interpretation of results, method development. Another big area in pharma R&D is the formulation development. Here you should have knowledge from pre-formulation study to different formulation aspects, then different critical process parameters, different stability aspects. Now you should also upgrade the software knowledge if you want to enter in the R&D. So there are many softwares now used, such as GastroPlus, Factorial Design softwares are there, docking or molecular modeling softwares are available. Hence, if you want to make a career in these avenues, you have to update regarding all this knowledge. Now R&D also now moved towards the CAD, computer-aided drug delivery, computer-aided drug design. Now previously, if you see, when we screen 5,000 or 10,000 moieties, then only one molecule may reach in the market after use for the exhaustive drug development process of 12 to 15 years. But now this time we can reduce by using the CAD, computer-aided drug design, and you can make your career in molecular modeling also and drug designing after your PG or PhD also. R&D now move towards the CROs also, clinical research organization. Now, if you see the today's scenarios, the clinical research is one of the most upcoming and demanding field of pharmaceutical science, and that requires highly dedicated and determined graduate and PG students. You can do some certificate course or diploma course to upgrade your knowledge in this area. During your B Pharmacy course, you can make a diploma course in clinical research, and you can upgrade knowledge and enter in this area also. You can be absorbed in clinical trials or the clinical research as a clinical research analyst, clinical research associate, clinical research coordinators, then biostatistician. Okay, this biostatistics means the statistics is also another avenue where you can make your career if you have interest in biostatistics, because biostatistics is the established function in clinical development today, an integral part in how companies run studies today. Hence, most of statisticians employed in the pharmaceutical work in this area, and along with this statistician, you can work in the disease modeling also, non-clinical statistics also, biomarker development is there, drug safety is there, epidemiology is there, benefit risk assessment is there, market access is there, health economics and outcome research is there, portfolio management is there, pharmacovigilance is there, data management is there, device and diagnostics is there. Means there are huge area. If you have interest as a biostatistic, then you can make your career. Another new thing, actually it is not a new, it is already in the pharmaceutical industry, but now it becomes a means separate appointment for this section is now taken place in pharma industry, and that is a technology transfer. This is another department. This technology transfer is the integral and critical to drug discovery and development process for any new drug molecule. And it is, in short, it is transfer of technology which is you have developed in R&D to the large scale manufacturing. Okay, means it has different stages also. Research phase is there, development phase is there, production phase is there. In all these three phases, there are different opportunities where you can work, and the key stages of this tech transfer process include data collection, data review, regulatory impact with particular emphasis on change approval, SUPAC is there, analytical validation is there, pilot or full scale manufacturing is there, stability set down is there. Means you can make a career in any part of this tech transfer area. Next, another important avenue, if you see globally as well as in India, is the pharma digitalization. This is the most important avenues where you can work, because nowadays means today's students are very well aware about all this digitalization. Now we are talking on the Zoom. This is also one of the part of digitalization. Means this pharma profession is also not an exception for this digitalization, and this digitalization has been taken place in different areas such as manufacturing intelligence, automation in pharma, because all machineries are now automated, self-operated, electronic control machineries are there. Then for continuous manufacturing, software control, packaging execution is there, integrated supply chain is there, enterprise backend IT cloud-based service is there. Means if you say from manufacturing to the sale and distribution, there is a digitalization, and you can take advantage of this digitalization. You can do many courses in this digitalization. Now the most important digitalization aspects generally used in pharma industry is the machine learning and artificial intelligence. This is the most important area in coming decade. There is a huge opportunity to work in this area, machine learning and artificial intelligence. If you see the statistic, only 43 pharma industries using machine learning and AI. Means this is just emerging field in pharma industry. This pharmaceutical industry is now using machine learning and AI. AI means artificial intelligence in disease identification, diagnosis, for making personalized medicine, then for drug discovery, for manufacturing, for clinical trial research, for radiology and radiotherapy, smart electronic health records, epidemic outbreak prediction. Now you can see the prediction of this COVID-19. It is also this prediction done by different universities in foreign countries is made by using this artificial intelligence. In all this field, there is a use of machine learning and artificial intelligence. I will give you some examples of machine learning and artificial intelligence already used in pharma industry, such as Pfizer promoted a drug discovery partnership with the IBM Watson in immuno-oncology. The Novartis is also there. They are able to decode cancer pathology image through artificial intelligence. Novartis joined with tech startup Path AI and created system through which they can able to diagnose cancer. See, huge opportunities there in this field. Roche Pharmaceutical has developed machine learning diagnostic technique for diabetic macular edema, which is complication of diabetes that causes a thickening of retina and lead to the blindness. Means all these are the big example of using machine learning and artificial intelligence in pharma industry. Okay, as all of you are the graduate student, I will give you a simple example of artificial intelligence rather than whatever examples I have given earlier. Expert system is one of the artificial intelligence. In simple language, artificial intelligence means using machine as a human brain. Means machine work as a human being. Now, expert system is also one of the artificial intelligence. It is a computer application which develops to solve complex problems in particular domain of pharma industry at the level of extraordinary human intelligence. Means that system works as a one of the we can say it as a reference or the experienced person. If they give some solution to the industry, such a type of work these softwares are doing. We'll take an example of SDM, SEDEM. We can say it as a SDM. It is one of the expert system now used in pharmaceutical industry. By using this SDM expert system, we can just predict whether your API is directly compressible or not. Means see, there are some micromeretic properties which are you have already carried out in physical pharmacy practicals, such as particle size distribution, then angle of repose, flow property, bulk density. Such a 12 parameters are there, and by calculating 12 parameters for this API or your drug and excipient, you can predict your your API is suitable for direct compression or not. You can predict which excipient should be selected for direct compression in what proportion. Means see, here your formulation development, whatever time required to develop new dosage form, you can reduce by using this expert system. This is one of the simple example of artificial intelligence. Okay, sorry for interrupting. Now another avenues, new area you can see in the pharma industry, that is the 3D printing. I think you have heard about it. The 3D printing is the process that builds a three-dimensional object from computer-aided design model, and usually by successively adding material layer by layer, and hence this technique is also called as additive manufacturing. This 3D printing, this is also now boom in the pharma industry, and with 3D printing, companies can for variant population and produce them in short run batches. Means you can manufacture your dosage form as per requirement of population by this 3D printing. Now, if you take an example of 3D printing in pharmaceutical industry, to date, there is only one product, FDA approved 3D printing pharmaceutical product in the market, and this is the Spritam pill, Spritam tablet. This Aprecia Pharmaceuticals, they have used 3D printing technology to reformulate their anti-epileptic drug, levetiracetam. And this levetiracetam drug, they have already their product in the market, but by using 3D printing, they have reformulated that levetiracetam tablet, which is anti-epileptic, for epileptic patient by using this 3D printing. What they did, the new product, Spritam, has highly porous structure that could not be achieved by using your traditional manufacturing, means your granulation and tablet manufacturing process. And this newly formulated tablet easily dissolve in a second after contact with saliva, and which helps elderly and young patients who have trouble in swallowing these tablets. And this innovative development was achieved through proprietary powder bed technology and inkjet 3D printing technology. And this technology is known as the Zip dose technology. And by this Zip dose technology, they have prepared Spritam tablet. Now, at the time of manufacturing, what they did in 3D printing, these Spritam pills are initially powdered. Layer of drug is then processed under the inkjet print head, and binding liquid is printed at the specified location at the powdered sheet. And successive layering are then printed up to 40 times. Means you can layer by layer, make a layering of that drug. You can accumulate more amount of drug in tightly packed manner in that tablet by using this 3D printing technology. And by this way, they have manufactured Spritam tablet. This is one of the 3D printing FDA approved product in the market. And hence this 3D printing technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, these are some new avenues where a student can work in future. And you can do some diploma in 3D printing technology so as to add knowledge into, and you can join in this industry or in this area also. Another most important area is the medical device. This is one of the career avenue that pharma graduate didn't think to join. I don't know why. Medical device is also one of the part of pharma profession, but many pharma graduates are not joining this in this type of industries. These industries are generally, or job in this medical device are split into different categories because they have different types of medical devices. And these categories are orthopedics are there, surgical instruments are there, stents, catheters are there, syringes are there, hypodermic needles are there, blood transfusion and IV equipment is there, dental instrument is there. You see, there are huge number of medical devices company where pharma graduate can join. There are many combined device, means drug device companies are also evolved. Means drug companies are different, medical device companies are different, both are comes under the pharmacy profession. Nowadays, combined drug device companies are evolving. And if you see the example of combined drug device product, these are the medical device that release the pharmaceutical drug, such as asthma pump, okay, then insulin pen that deliver the insulin. Many global pharma develops combined drug device companies, and now in future, this is the most important avenues and career way where pharma graduate and postgraduate can work. Means many global pharma industries also working in this area, such as GSK, Novartis, Abbott Laboratories, and the medical device industry can offer fantastic opportunity for pharma graduate in different areas. Same areas are there, but in medical device companies such as regulatory affairs, quality assurance, quality control department is there. You can work in the manufacturing, and the highly salaried job in this medical device is the sale and marketing. Okay, this is also one of the area where you can work in future. Now, if you see the pharma regulatory guidelines, these are changing day by day. Now, if you enter into the pharmacy or in pharmaceutical industry, you have to deal with the some new techniques which are, I think, lack in the syllabus, such as QBD, PAT, validation technologies. There are few some syllabus is given also, but you should thoroughly give your inputs in this area also, so as to join different companies. You can take knowledge of this area and enter efficiently in pharma industry. Means knowledge of quality by design approach, process analytical techniques, then validation techniques. I think QBD, I think all of you or you have might have heard, this is the systematic approach to development that begins with the predefined objectives and emphasizes product and process understanding and process control based on sound science and quality risk management. Now, if you want to define this QBD in simple language, QBD means challenging each and every critical process parameter. Critical process parameters means these are the process parameters which affect the performance of your final product. And in routine manufacturing, few parameters are optimized. But when this QBD is evolved, in this QBD, you have to challenge each and every critical parameters and you have to optimize it for smooth manufacturing of your product. Again, PAT is there, process analytical technology is there. It is defined as a mechanism to design, analyze, and control pharmaceutical manufacturing processing. Then validation is the another area. It is establishing documented evidence. That documented evidence will give you high degree of assurance that any process, say for example, manufacturing of tablet, will consistently produce a product with predetermined specification. Means you have to read whatever guidance document guidelines given by the ICH, WHO, as well as US FDA, so as to enter in this area also. Another area I want to discuss here, I think all of you know because of hydroxychloroquine used in the COVID situation, that is, it is called as drug repurposing. Okay, drug repurposing. This is also another area because this area reduce the cost of manufacturing, and this drug repurposing means it is also called as drug repositioning, drug reprofiling, or drug retasking. It is a strategy for identifying new use for approved drug or investigational drug. Means drug is already approved, drug is already in the market, and you have to see another use of existing product, another use of existing drug. You have seen that is hydroxychloroquine is tried to cure the COVID-19. Actually, this drug repurposing also required FDA approvals, but the advantages are because it requires less time of development, as most of preclinical, clinical trials, safety study, all these studies, product development are already carried out. Hence, less time is required to put your drug repurpose into the market. Hence, this is also one of the huge area where you can work after your graduate as well as postgraduate. We can take an example of drug repurposing, Zidovudine. Actually, it is a primary indication was cancer, but then it is used as a anti-HIV or in AIDS. Sildenafil is another very well known example of drug repurposing. Its primary indication was in angina, but nowadays it is used in erectile dysfunction. These are different examples of drug repurposing, and you can think to join in such a type of industry or such a type of concept also. Now, along with this drug repurposing, if you see the pharma market, along with the drug manufacturing, now there are huge number of biotechnological products. I mean, instead of selecting a career in your routine drug or dosage form, you can think or you can make your career in biotechnological product industries also, because it is one of the evolving area in Indian as well as global pharma market. Another area where I don't know why pharma graduate ignore to join this area, it is a bulk drug manufacturing industry, API manufacturing industry. Now, if you see the global active pharmaceutical ingredient, that is API market, it is estimated to reach $245 billion by 2024. Currently, it is 182 billion US dollar, but it will reach up to 250 billion US dollar by 2024. And if you see the statistics, as usual, China today's control 55% of API space in the world. Despite China is the hub for API as well as bulk drug manufacturing. But after this COVID situation and because of some reason, now government of India is now decided to make India as an alternative hub for bulk drug. Okay, it may be due to China faces quality problem as well as because of this COVID situation, trust issue is there. Hence, government of India decided that we will make our India as a alternative hub for the bulk drug. So you can make your career in bulk drug manufacturing also. See, bulk drug manufacturing also includes all these guidelines are there, regulatory agencies are there, synthesis there, quality assurance, quality control department there. Hence, you can make your career in this bulk drug or API manufacturing industry also, instead of joining routine your drug manufacturing industry. Because this is also one of the area where pharma graduates are not joining, and that's why they take some your student. Another area, if you see or you are watching any movie, there is a commercial break, and in that commercial break, there are 5-6 advertisements are there, and in that advertisement, 3-4 advertisements are cosmetic product, and hence this cosmetic industry is also one of the huge area where pharma graduate and PG student can work. But I don't know why they are ignoring, because all these cosmetic products in India, there is the act and cosmetic. We are ignoring this cosmetic area. This dosage form are same.
Jangde sir,
I think there is a network problem is there.
Network problem is there. Voice is not audible.
Okay.
also I'm
Okay.
Again, I will rejoin, sir.
I think we lost connectivity with our speaker. No problem.
sir.
Soon he will join. I request participant to be here only.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's not a big issue. Within a second, he can join once again.
Nilesh sir, call him.
Yes, sir.
Call him.
Just message him. If you are going to call again, interruption will be there from mobile phone.
Yeah.
Message him that join one side.
I sent already message.
Yes, good.
Because he is residing at farmhouse, so network connectivity issue is there. Yesterday he talked with me.
Yes. Now he joined. Now he is in.
Yeah. Okay.
No problem, sir. I can see him. Just unmute him. Okay, our speaker is with us. We can start once again.
Sir is muted, sir. Jangde sir.
Yes, sir.
Unmute him, sir.
Unmute him, sir.
Unmute Bhagwat
sir.
sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Getting your
Yes,
voice.
yes.
Continue, sir, Bhagwat sir.
Continue. Means
Jangde sir, please stop your video also.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hello. Shall I proceed, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is audible,
Okay.
sir. It is audible, sir.
Okay. Means cosmetic industry, it is also one of the ignored area by this pharma graduate or pharma student. You can in cosmetic industry also. As you are not joining cosmetic industry, again they are taking MSc and BSc chemistry student for their manufacturing, QA, QC and all other stuffs. Okay, now another avenues, if you see, now there is a one trend of process outsourcing, because because of stringent regulation by different regulatory agencies, and because of some facility problem and time management problem, many pharma industry outsource some work of their manufacturing from other companies. It's called as the process outsourcing. Actually, it is a practice used by different companies to reduce the cost by transferring portion of work to outside supplier. Means the very real example is the means contract manufacturing. You can manufacture some part of your product from other industry, or you can manufacture some batches from another industry also. It is called as contract manufacturing, and now it is limited to just contract.
Jangade
I
sir,
think once
again,
again, now we will request him to turn off his video so that his audio will be clearly audible,
Okay.
because the bandwidth of his
Yes, sir.
network is yes. Now he is with us.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. You are
sir,
audible,
is
sir.
it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible, sir. One thing
Okay.
I would suggest you just you can make your video off so that your low bandwidth also can transfer your audio to the meeting.
Okay. Shall I off video? Okay. Shall I proceed?
Jangade sir,
Yes, sir. I am seeing, sir. Any
Again-
problem is there? Network problem is there, I think.
Little bit, yes. This issue we will face. No problem.
Stay tuned. Very good session is there.
Yes, he is with us. Bhagwat sir, please unmute your audio. Jangade sir, you
Video.
can help.
Right now, he is
Audio,
not
audio.
here, sir. Right
Because
now,
he is in a
not
room.
here, sir.
I can
Hello?
see him. Yes, he is here.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
We'll proceed.
Okay, sir.
Okay, means this outsourcing is one of the avenue where we can work efficiently, and now process outsourcing is actually old thing where we can manufacture some part or the some batch of your product from other pharmaceutical industry or small scale industries by contract manufacturing. But nowadays it is not limited only with the contract manufacturing. Now it is evolved in clinical research, in drug discovery and development also. Some pharmacovigilance studies are also carried out from outside industries such as Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant is there. Means these are new evolving area where you can work, such as the pharmacovigilance or the medical writing. And if you see this pharmacovigilance, it is a science and activities related to the detection, assessment, understanding and prevention of adverse effect and any other drug related problem. All these whatever data it is needed to submit to regulatory bodies, and that's why you have huge career in this pharmacovigilance, or in short we can say it as a PV. Medical writing is another area. Medical writer is the person who applies the principle of clinical research in developing clinical trial documents that effectively and clearly describe research results or your product use and other medical information. So along with PV, medical writing is also one of the new avenue or emerging area nowadays. Medical coding is there. Actually, medical coding is transformation of healthcare diagnosis, procedure of diagnosis, medical service given by that physician or that doctor or hospital, equipment in the universal medical into the alphanumeric code. It is called as medical coding. And these diagnose and procedure codes are taken from medical record documentation, and such transcription of physician notes, laboratory and radiologic results are there. And hence for this PV and medical writing and coding, many diplomas are available, or part-time or distance learning courses or online courses are also available. Student can do these courses along with your graduation. You can enter in you see the stringent regulatory compliance by different countries. And so you people during your graduation, you should have habit of reading and understanding regulatory guidelines as well as document. These regulatory guidelines and guidance documents are easily available on the website of different regulatory agencies such as USFDA or WHO or ICH, and you have you have a habit of reading or understanding this guidance document so that you can enter in the regulatory affairs also, because regulatory stringently are changing day by day. Now these are some new avenues. Now if we see, retail pharmacy is one of the area where generally many diploma or graduate students also start their medical shop. Actually it is not a medical shop. We should start nowadays as a community pharmacy instead of medical shop or dukan, we can say. And here you have to change your orientation when you start retail pharmacy. Means as a traditional way you cannot start or just dispense the drug whatever prescribed on their prescription. Here you have to work on the patient counseling. Actually it is a need of our, instead of only selling drug on prescription, pharmacy practice regulation 2015 is there, which offers many avenues for you. That is, you can take charges from patient for counseling by this regulation as like your physician. And hence in retail pharmacy, pharmacists should be skilled at communicating safety instructions, potential side effects, giving general advice regarding OTC product as well as your prescription drug, and how to take this medicine, when to take this medicine, after food or before food or with food, what should you do after missed dose, etc., etc. Means such a type of counseling you should do at your retail pharmacy instead of running your pharmacy in traditional way. You can keep some devices there. You can check if there is a diabetic patient regularly visiting your pharmacy shop or a retail pharmacy, then you can keep some digital glucometer or some BP apparatus is there. You can check them and you can give more service to your customer, or we can say it as a patient, so that you can make very good career in this retail pharmacy also if you are changing your ways. This retail pharmacies, in this retail pharmacies which are new avenues nowadays, you can start special pharmacies also. In other countries such a type of special pharmacies are open, such as nuclear pharmacy is there, nutrition support pharmacies are there, oncology pharmacy is there, psychiatric pharmacy is there, forensic pharmacy is there. You can work in poison control center. You can work in pharmacotherapy. There are some pharmacies which are dedicated only for geriatric or pediatric patients. Means in another way you should think to start your retail pharmacy instead of running your pharmacy as a traditional way. Now if you see another avenue in hospital pharmacy, it is also emerging field to work in India. You can work with the physician after completion of PharmD, after completion of BPharm also, by some practice or by doing some diplomas and certificate course. Now another latest emerging area is the pharmacoepidemiologist, or we can say it as a data analyst. This pharmacoepidemiologist means pharmacoepidemiology is the study of utilizing an effect of drug in large number of patients. Means it provides estimate of probability of beneficial effect of your drug in population, and it also gives the probability of adverse effect. Hence it is also one of the emerging field, pharmacoepidemiologist. You can work as a pharmacoepidemiologist. If you see or if you want to make your career in government section, then also there are huge number of opportunities nowadays available. You can work from ZP or Jilla Parishad hospital pharmacist to drug inspector. You have career in defense also. In some government medical college also there is a requirement of pharmacist. Okay. Now, along with this retail and community pharmacies, there is a another area where now it is not like the medical representative. Now it is also one of the evolving area where you can earn more and more salary. Marketing job functions of maximum number of pharmacy graduate nowadays, and the number of job available in sale function is plenty. Salaries structure is also decent, and more importantly, on good performance, the incentives are also lucrative, and the job is challenging course, but it is rewarding also. So you have to travel a lot, and you do get chances to travel to new places in India also and abroad also by in this sale and marketing. And if you are dynamic, proactive, and confident, and if you like talking, then negotiating, traveling, and making money, this role is definitely for you. Now, people might also think that even BSc graduate can also join as a MR job. It is true, but BPharm student when join, or if you are the BPharm background, then you will have various advantage during your job, such as you can get promoted from field officer to area manager level within 3 years. Then you can also move in the product management team, PMT. This is also a huge salaried job within 4 to 7 years of your MR experience. If you are MPharm candidate with pharmacology specialization or pharma MBA graduate, you can get PMT job. I means you will be dealing with the making strategies, sale, marketing, analysis, financial stuffs are there, and a lot of things are carried out in the product management team. This is PMT is also one of the area where you can join. Another area or avenue which is already means many students are ignored to enter in this area, that is entrepreneurship. Now there is a make in India concept is there, startup India concept is now evolving, and if you see the startup culture in pharmaceutical industry is extremely rare, and there are few themes where you can make your career, where you can start up your whatever industry, or you can enter in the entrepreneurship in new drug molecule or API manufacturing. You can manufacture product of raw materials, means you can enter in the excipient manufacturing industry, or you can start your excipient manufacturing industry. Just if you want to manufacture lactose, you can sell huge amount of lactose to different pharma industry so as to formulate the tablet. Then you can enter into the preparation of biologicals also. Some contract manufacturing you can start. Then subcontracting for R&D, some CRO type of work also you can carry out. E-commerce type of work also you can carry out. Now, along with all these avenues, if you want to make further education as a career point of view, then from diploma to UG, then UG to PG, PG to doctorate, doctorate to postdoctorate, you can make your career. Various diplomas you can do in regulatory affairs, pharmacovigilance, medical writing, pharma MBA, that is in human resource and marketing sector. If you want to enter, you can do pharma MBA also, and hence there are much benefit working in pharma profession as compared to other profession. There are some reason why pharma profession are have benefit as compared to other profession, because pharmacist has a wide scope to render his service in variety of levels and business operations, and the pharmacist get flexible option for their work. Means you can enter as a QA person or QC person or manufacturing person or for packaging department, regulatory affairs, anything. This pharmaceutical industry is the recession free. Now you can see in this COVID situation also pharmaceutical industries are running, and if there is a problem of recession, then also pharmaceutical industries are running. Then pharmacists have great prospect being an employee of hospital, research institute, manufacturing units. Means these are some advantages or benefits where means in pharma profession as compared to other profession. Now, along with these benefits, you have some challenges also in next decade. And this is also you should know because you are entering in the pharma career. And the first challenge is NLEM, that is new list of essential medicine. Okay, means essential medicine impact on the profit because price of this essential medicine is decided by the government. Now another challenge is the entering of generic medicine. Some government policies also make some hurdles. Another hurdle is corporate hospitals now are evolving and they dominate in urban India. Means instead of career in industry and as a retail pharmacy, try to make career in hospital and clinical pharmacy also. Means you can make your hurdle, you can see career in this hurdle also. Okay, there are some challenges for student also, and the most of or the important challenge for student is the number of student passed out per year. You have to think on this also because you are not a single person who are doing BPharm, DPharm or MPharm. If you see the statistics, there are 1864 diploma colleges in India having capacity 24,000, BPharm 23,000 and MPharm 4,200 something. Means if you see all this DBM, means yearly there are more than 50,000 pharmacists are passing out per year. And hence this is one of the challenge for you also. But now these are different career avenues. Now what industry or the these all sectors expect from you means along with nowadays along with technical skill, or we can say it as a hard skill, there is a necessity of soft skills also. We'll see first hard skill which are required to enter in the pharma industry. If you want to industry or if you want to join industry, then you should have good knowledge of regulatory guidelines, reading, understanding guidance document provided by different regulatory bodies such as US FDA, WHO, ICH and other regulatory bodies. You should know how dossier is prepared. Then in dispensing department, if you want to enter, you should know inventory control, software management, data filling, color code concept, automation. If you want to enter into the manufacturing section, you should know you should have the knowledge of documentation, process control, critical process parameters, IPQC test, finished product test. If you want to enter in the QC department, again documentation, raw material test, IPQC test, packaging material test, acceptable limits of that. If you want to make career in QA section, again you should have knowledge of documentation, regulatory guidelines, then QC test, validation. All these are necessary. If you want to enter into sale and marketing, then you should have knowledge of pharmacology, biopharmaceutics, communication skill should be there. If you want to make career in community pharmacy, you should have counseling and communication skill. You should understand patient information leaflet, drug interaction, drug food interaction. If you want to start retail pharmacy, don't run it as a shop or dukan. You should have new concept into that. You should run it as a community pharmacy. Then for clinical pharmacist, you should work with the physician or you can do PharmD for that. All these are the hard skill or technical skill. These are needed with respect to different career avenues. Now, along with this hard skill, there is a necessity of some soft skill. In in the remaining section, I mentioned here some soft skills also. You should acting as a team player. Means not only being cooperative, but also displaying strong leadership skill when it is necessary. And you can make or you can build team leader qualities in you during your practical session also. You should be flexible. You should have effective communication. Communication means not only it is a verbal communication, but you should imbibe or you should upgrade in the written communication also. You should able to write good email to your teacher, and then in industry for your manager also. You should be good listener. This is also communication skill. You should be your body language should be appropriate. You should have ability to interact effectively. Again, some soft skills are there. You should have problem solving nature. You should have ability of accepting feedback. Okay, means what happen if any teacher shout you, then you think that this is not my mistake and all this stuff. But you have to, or you have accepting feedback qualities in you, so that not only accepting feedback gracefully, but you can also apply that feedback to foster your professional growth. Again, confidence is most important soft skill. Creative thinking should be there. You should perform under pressure. This is also another soft skill. You should have strong work ethic, ability to work in challenging stage. You should have strong attention in detail and organizational skill. All these are soft skills now necessary, and you can imbibe your soft skills. There are different training session also. There are different soft skill courses also, by which you can upgrade your soft skills along with this hard skill. Because now see, nowadays hard skill or technical skill, all students have technical skill, but you have to have this soft skill so as to enter efficiently and into the pharma industry. Now if you see, every employer or company will have few expectation from the student or the fresher candidate. There are three types of expectation. If you see any campus interview in your college or anywhere, there are three types of quality generally checked. The first quality is the aptitude. Aptitude test is conducted first to screen thousands of students, and they cut down the number into hundreds. Why this aptitude test is carried out? Actually, this aptitude test is conducted to know your problem solving skill, how efficiently you are working, how can you solve a problem in given prescribed period of time, and to know your thinking ability and how your approach will be there to solve problem. It is tested in the aptitude test. Second test they carry out generally is the technical skill, means in which area you are entering, you have lot of technical knowledge in that particular area, and as a fresher you must know basics of at least conventional dosage form while entering in the pharma industry. And third and last aspect generally different employer check in the freshers are the attitude. Means at the time of interview, interviewer will look your personality traits like your willingness to learn new things, your confidence, your leadership qualities, team working skills, and ready to adapt in new environment. Means these three things you must understand while entering in any profession as a career point of view. Aptitude is there, technical skill is there, and attitude is there. These three things are most important. Now in last session I will give you some guidelines by which you can efficiently enter in the any career avenues. You should do your SWOT analysis. SWOT means SWOT. SWOT is SWOT, and this SWOT stand for strength, S for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunities, and T for threat. Means you people should, in this graduation period or post graduation period, you should think or you should carry out yourself SWOT analysis. That is you should identify your strength, you should identify your weaknesses, you should identify which opportunities are there after completion of BPharm as per your strength and weaknesses, and you should also think on the threat in that particular area. I will give you one example of opportunity I heard recently in the television. This is a story of Akshay Kumar. Actually this Akshay Kumar, when he bring his 7th or 8th standard result, actually he was failed in that examination, and he's calmly come enter into the home, and he said, father, I have failed in this examination. And his father replied him, what you want to make your career, or what you want to do in future? And he calmly said, or he identified his whatever strength and weaknesses, and he directly said, that is, I want to become a martial art. And then he start playing, and then start sports and martial arts, and then he enter into the that means this Bollywood, or the he has made very good career in the Bollywood also. Means this is one of the example. You have to see your opportunities. Means by identifying your strength and weakness, you have to make or identify opportunities to work in the area. So finally, we conclude session by giving some tips to the students at any level you are working at the first year BPharm or second or third or finally BPharm, some passion or the some points I mentioned here. First, make your SWOT analysis, identify your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Then make a right decision today itself. Means where you want to make career in regulatory affairs, in quality assurance, in manufacturing, or in medical device industry, in cosmetic industry, or anything. Make your whatever decision today itself, so that up to final year BPharm you can upgrade more and more in that particular area. Next important thing is the constant skill development. This is another important task, that is it is to continuously upgrade your knowledge in that particular area where you are joining after BPharm or MPharm. Then hands-on skill and internship. Actually PCI in new syllabus has already given industrial training after 6 semester, and in that every student shall required to work at least 150 hours in pharmaceutical industry or in hospital. Also pharmacy school concept is there in 7th semester for 150 marks, and you can take hands-on training during this session and upgrade your knowledge. Again, during this your graduation period in your BPharm or MPharm, you can upgrade your CV also so as to fit the right career. Means do some add-on courses of areas you have selected to work in future. There are many online or distance learning courses are available. Do it and upgrade your CV or biodata. If you say, for example, if you wish to make your career in regulatory affairs, many certificate and diploma courses are available. Do that courses and upgrade your CV as well as knowledge. And many courses are also freely available. So by this some tips, now I conclude session here, and I'm thankful to organizer and all team of Anna Saheb Dange College of B Pharmacy. And here now I think topic is open for discussion. If students have any queries, they can ask. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. If anyone has
Sir.
any question, you can ask now. Just raise your hand, participants. Okay, Shubhangi. Shubhangi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my question is, can we get a junior research fellowship after BPharm course?
Yes, actually this is also area actually I miss here, but as you are the I have not put in the topic of discussion in today's session. There are many junior research fellowships are there. For that you have to pass for the qualify GATE examination or GPAT examination. There are different CSIR, UGC joint fellowship are there. Then ICMR, CSIR as well as UGC fellowships there. Examination, then you can join as a junior research fellow in R&D or in research lab in any national institute. Hello. Hello.
Disconnected now. I think Bhagwat sir is disconnected.
Sir, is it audible?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Yes.
Have you cleared your query?
Shubhangi.
So voice is breaking, so I can't hear.
Okay. I repeat for you. So as to join as a junior research fellowship, you have to qualify for GPAT examination or GATE examination. There are many examinations are there. So as to join as a junior research fellow, UGC CSIR joint
Hello. Hello.
NET examiner.
Hello,
Hello.
sir. Sir.
Means to join as a junior research fellow, you have to qualify all these exams. There are some entrance examinations for that.
So which institute provide junior research
NIFER
fellowship?
is there, different IITs are there, different IIScs are there. Recently, our MPharm student joined as a junior research fellow in IISc Bangalore. He has qualified GPAT. He has qualified that UGC, means for joining into such avenues, you have to qualify these entrance exams. UGC CSIR is there. Examinations are there, and by qualifying all these examinations, you can join as a junior research fellow in that research institute.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Bhagwat sir. Hello, Bhagwat sir, am I audible? Please check your connectivity, sir. Your voice is breaking frequently.
Sir, actually, I have a very good connection, very good way also.
But your voice is breaking here.
Hello. Hello.
Now you are audible, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Participants, you have any questions? So Bhagwat sir, I have one question. This is Mulan sir. You have explained that biostatic domain. Am I right? Opportunities are in
Yes.
biostatics. Yeah. What kind of
Yes.
expertise required for our pharma graduates?
Actually, we have very short syllabus of this biostatistics in third year BPharm. But if you want to make career in this area, you have to make habit or you have interest in this statistics, and you can do many diplomas as a statistician. Online courses are available, and you can put your knowledge or whatever your courses in your CV, and then you can apply as a statistician in R&D.
Okay.
Anything else?
So all participants, if you have any question, you can ask. Session is open for all.
Okay. Sir, one question is there from my side.
Okay.
Sir, please guide us regarding the pharmaceutical journalism.
Okay, the pharmaceutical journalism is also another area.
For the MPharm.
Okay, this pharmaceutical journalism is also new avenues where you can means all this medical writing and all these things comes under this journalism, and you can make your career in this also.
So, is there any opportunity for BPharm candidates for in pharmaceutical journalism?
Yes. Actually, BPharm candidates are generally joined for this. This is not means very much explored area, but you can join.
Okay. Sanjana Deshmukh.
There are some online courses are available for that, and you can do to upgrade the knowledge because it is not in our syllabus.
Okay. Sir, one question is there.
Sir.
You have. Sir, you can. Can you explain about the hospital management career?
Okay, means hospital management now in hospital you can work or make your career as a clinical pharmacist or hospital pharmacist. Two things are there. Clinic, if you want to make career as a clinical pharmacist, for that such hospitals are associated with the pharmaceutical R&D where clinical trials are carried out. Means along with physician, you can work as a clinical pharmacist. And in hospital pharmacies, as usual, for dispensing for checking in drug interaction or food interaction, for patient counseling also you can work in the hospital. There are two ways by which you can work in the hospital also. And nowadays it is compulsory, means they have decided for this much number of bed facility, this much number of pharmacists are required. Before 2 5 years it was not there, only one pharmacist was there. They are taking some prescription and dispensing only drug. Now depending upon bed facility, they nowadays there is a requirement as a hospital pharmacist in many government as well as private hospitals.
Hello, Bhagwat sir.
Ha sir.
Okay.
This is Jagtap sir. Just very nice question, sir. You very nice session. You covered a number of the area for these pharmacy graduates and various areas where we can our student can make his career. Very nice informative session, sir. In between,
Okay,
I went outside for some emergency, but at that time also I carry my device because I was eager to listen you continuously. So very nice and I'm thankful to have accept our invitation and guided our students. Sir, I just want to discuss with you one thing. Just at our time, sir, most of us means from 90-10, I would say 90% peoples wish to go for the higher studies, and only 10% wish to continue their job after the B pharmacy. But nowadays the scenario is changing, student mindset is changing. I would say
Yeah.
the 50-50% means 50% students want to go for the job directly after B Pharm, and 50% students are willing to have the higher studies, whether it is MBA, whether it is M.Pharm, or whether it is another any area. So what would you suggest to our students, sir? Because I always used to insist student to go for the higher study, because
Yes,
once you break the, yes,
definitely.
once we break the, yes sir, let me complete. Once we break the this educational journey, then it will become very means difficult after some time or 4 or 5 years if anybody wants to continue with the PG. So what do you suggest to our students, sir, on this regard?
Okay. Now, in my session, I have discussed some challenges for student, and where I have mentioned more than 50,000 students are passing per year. Means pharmacy,
Yeah.
either they are diploma or degree or PG. Means industry have lot of scope to choose pharmacist or the person or the employee for them, and that's
Yes.
why this is always necessary to do higher education. Means
Yes,
see,
yes,
if
yes.
there is an
Yes, yes.
interview for pharmaceutical, okay, means if there is a for thousands are thousands of pharmacists are applied for that post, and if many means they want to select only 10 people. In that 10 people, if some people are M.Pharm pharmacology, then definitely they will prefer M pharmacy graduate instead of your B.Pharm graduate. Hence,
Yes.
it is a need of our to do higher study, but it is depending upon in which area you are making you want to your career. And I suggest student to decide your career avenues or the way or the area you want to work in future right now or today itself. You can make plan A and plan B also. If plan A is fails, then you can make career in plan B also. But
Yes.
student have to decide career avenues or the area where they want to work today itself, and then if they can see if there is a necessity of higher education in that particular area, then they can do that. But I prefer higher studies are most important nowadays because there is a huge competition in the market.
Yes, yes, yes. So we all teachers are in same path or same path of this suggestion.
Yeah,
Always I used to incite the students to go for the higher study. Usually,
yes,
let it be it's
definitely.
maybe the PG diploma or maybe the any another sector, but you must have something different that only plain BPharm. That I always used to incite the student,
Yes,
and you
yes,
are
yes.
also suggested the same thing. The very thank you very much, sir, for this guidance to the students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Priya Patil. Priya Patil, go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir.
Huh.
Hello.
Uh, Firstly, thank you for your nicely presentation and provide us beneficial knowledge about career avenue, various type and hard skill and soft skill. And my question is about entrepreneurship. When we join industry, then this entrepreneurship is under any department or a separate part. part, and
Actually,
if we want to join, then it is suitable to join after completion of B Farm or M Farm.
okay. Actually, entrepreneurship is not a job avenue. Actually, entrepreneur means you can start your own business. Own business as a retail pharmacy, own business as a API manufacturer, own business
Uh,
as, or you can start your drug manufacturing industry. This is the entrepreneurship avenues, because government of India is also providing lot of subsidy under the startup concept. They are promoting young graduate to start up their own business instead of going to the job opportunity in industry. Means entrepreneurship is one of the area where you can start your own business, own manufacturing unit, own retail pharmacy shop, whatever it may be.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Saili.
Hello, Bhagwat sir.
Saili.
Can
Ha,
you
sir.
hear me? This is
Yes,
Mulan
yes.
sir. I have seen
Ha,
chat box.
sir.
There is one question from chat box, that is,
Okay.
when we start our own pharma manufacturing industry in future, then what
Ha.
things should be learned today? This question from Sonal Magdum, our third year student.
Okay, now if you want to start manufacturing industry, first of all, you should make sure that you will have that much capital, or you will have that much whatever requirements of funds. Second thing, you should understand the regulations. Means you should read the good manufacturing practices or Schedule M of our DNC Act. I think yesterday only Gaikwad sir has taken a overview of DNC Act. In that good manufacturing practices, Schedule M is there, which is related to the minimum requirement of plant facility for our modern medicine. M1 is minimum requirement of plant facility for some Ayurvedic product, and M2 is for cosmetic product. Means you should understand what is minimum requirement of plant facility. Plant facility is not only the machineries; it is also whatever minimum requirement or space requirement, minimum requirement of different departments, minimum requirement of different whatever personnel working in the industry, and all minimum requirements are given there. Then as per the whatever regulatory guidelines of that respective country, you have to apply with the regulatory bodies. Means in our state government, you can apply towards the Food and Drug Administration of government of Maharashtra. By there are different applications and form numbers, you should apply that, and then you can start your manufacturing unit. First of all, your question is what you should learn. You should learn what is regulatory guidelines are there, what is requirements as per regulatory guidelines, and if you want to, or if you wish to manufacture the parenteral dosage form, then you should learn more about parenteral. If you want to make career or manufacturing in solid dosage form, you can upgrade your knowledge in solid dosage form during your graduation.
Okay.
Before
Sanjana.
that, there is the most important thing is that after your graduation, instead of directly starting your unit, you should take some experience in other industry also, and then you can try. This
Okay.
training part is also important.
Okay, Sanjana Deshmukh, go ahead with your question. Sanjana
Good
Deshmukh.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my
Good
question is, after B Farm, we join the defense in which field or in which that?
Sanjana, hello.
Actually, in defense, there are different hospitals. Central government hospitals are there, or military hospitals are there. In that military hospital, they see, if there is a hospital, there is a requirement of pharmacists, and there is no huge requirement. You can join defense as a pharmacist by completing diploma also. If you are graduate people or B Farm student, then you will get more preference, and all other physical parameters or the physical requirements are there. These are same for joining as a pharmacist or for joining as a military person, but you can join in military or in defense section as a pharmacist. And as a central government job, it has a very good salary.
Okay.
Huh.
Saili?
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, this is Mulan sir. Again, one question from our D pharmacy student, that is Aditya
Okay.
Metkari.
Aditya Metkari.
After completing D pharmacy, can I get directly admission to Pharm D?
Diploma or degree pharmacy?
Pharm D, sir.
Pharm D.
After diploma.
After diploma or after degree?
After diploma.
No. There is no entry in the
possible.
Pharm D.
Yes.
No. Actually, you have to complete degree. Then there is a 3-year course, or you can directly join Pharm D course by
Pharm D course, 6 years.
Pharm D course. Yes.
Okay. Saili.
Anybody else?
Saili is there. So unmute yourself, Saili. It is not getting unmuted here from here. Okay. She is not responding.
Those who want to ask question, ask directly by unmuting your option.
Hello,
Otherwise,
sir.
you can
Sir,
type in chat box. Hello.
Mulani sir.
Hi, yes, sir.
I want to make one correction in my previous answer. After diploma also now means last 2 years they have made facility to directly join as a second year in Pharm D.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
You can join after your diploma also.
Aditya
Means
Metkari,
as
can
like
you?
your,
Priya Patil.
like your,
Okay. Okay, sir. Continue, sir.
Yes. Means as like your lateral entry you can join.
Okay. Priya Patil has one question. Priya Patil, go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir. Can I audible?
Yes, it is audible.
Yes.
In entrepreneurship, what is about CRO type of work? Can you explain?
See, as an entrepreneur, you can start your contract research organization. It is also called a CRO or clinical research organization. Means you can set one laboratory. It is not required a lot of space, and you can do whatever research part of any pharmaceutical industry on contract basis. There are many CROs available in Bangalore city. And this is one of the good avenues which required small facility, means in one floor of building. Also, you can start your CRO.
It can we do after completion of degree?
Yes, it can be do after completion of degree, but for getting some results and interpretation of results, you have to appoint some PG student.
Okay, thank you.
Because some analytical research is there. If some company they have invented some new moiety, and if they want to develop one analytical method for that particular API, and if they contact you, develop one analytical or HPLC method for detection of our API in dosage form in your laboratory, then on the basis of BPharm knowledge, you can't means develop one method. At least you should appoint here the MPharm analysis or MPharm chemistry student.
Okay.
But if you have a practice and if you have already worked in the analytical techniques, then you can do. There is no restriction. Means as per regulation, there is no requirement of signing authority should be degree or PG. It is not there. But for getting result and good interpretation, you require specialization.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Sonal Khatta,
Sir.
you can go ahead with your question. Sonal Khatta. Hello.
Hello.
Is it audible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, Sonali Khatta. Okay, Sonali, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Yes, Sonali.
Sir, my
Go
question
ahead.
is after.
Yes.
Hello, Sonali. Please repeat it.
Your voice is breaking.
Hello.
Hello. If you don't have good range, you can type in chat box also. Mulani sir will assist.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello. There is a one question from our
So the
third year
question is
student, that is
that is after B Farm C, what will be the best, either M Farm or Farm D?
See, it is depend upon what is your area of interest. It is always better to do career in vast area instead, because see in our India this farm D concept still date it is not that much evolving, but it has some opportunities in some decades or in some few years. But I suggest if you have interest to work as a clinical pharmacist, then you can join PharmD. But if you want to make career in pharma industry or in community pharmacy, then you can do MPharm.
Okay.
It is depend upon in which area you want to make your career.
Okay, Mulani sir. Okay. Mulani sir.
ha sir.
You can go ahead with your questions.
Okay, already covered that question, sir.
Okay.
He has explained.
Okay.
Okay, that better suggestion is there for Sonali Katra.
Yes, sir.
You can go to MPharm completion of BPharm.
Hello, sir.
Okay, anybody else who want to ask question?
Sir, one more question is there. Bhagwat sir.
Yes.
After completion of the B Farm C, whether it is a good option to join PG diploma courses or postgraduate courses?
See, actually, this question is repeated or it is have some overlooked by Jagtap sir also. Always post graduation or the higher studies are important. PG diploma is also one of the diploma or certificate course. Instead of doing this, if you want to make career in R&D, then go for PG. If you want to make career in pharmacovigilance specially, then do diploma of pharmacovigilance. If you want to make career in clinical pharmacist or as a clinical pharmacist, do courses of or online diploma course or any diploma course in clinical research. It is depend upon in which area you want to make your career.
Okay. Any question?
There are huge avenues in R&D or clinical research also after completion of your degree plus your short-term diploma course. But it is always better to do PG if you want to make career in R&D. And if you want to make career after 1 year of your graduation in pharmacovigilance or medical writing and all other stuff, then you can do such a small diploma also instead of going for PG.
Okay. So Purva Patil have one question. Purva Patil, go ahead with your question.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you explain more about biomarker development?
Okay, biomarker development. Actually, this is another thing where you can develop some biomarkers. Means at the time of study, reference materials is needed. Okay, and for that there is a necessity of biomarkers. Means reference material and development of such a biomarkers means I will give you one example. If you are separating one moiety in your herbal drug, and if that moiety is get separated, and if you want to make sure that this particular moiety is get separated, then you have to compare it with the standard, and that standard one is called as marker, and development of such a marker also has some career.
Oh.
Okay. Anything is there? Anyone want to
It also
ask
has some
questions?
molecular data is also necessary for that.
What, sir?
A molecular data of that particular moiety is also necessary. Again, different biomarkers are nowadays used to detect some disease also. Okay. Recently today also I have seen one news where they are using some biomarker to detect COVID-19. Okay. Means these are different type of stuff. Biomarker is not only the moiety which is used to detect your whatever separated material from herbal product. These are some such a things by which you can detect some diseases also, some cancer also. Recently one have developed one strip and that by using that strip which is having cost somewhat 100 to 200 rupees only, and by using that strip you can detect your lung cancer or colon cancer. These are different biomarkers by which, and the development of such biomarkers are again have good startup, or you can you can be as an entrepreneur in this biomarker manufacturing industry. In simple way, I will give another example so as to differentiate other material and as a biomarker. Now there is a requirement of 1,000 or 2,000 rupees to detect COVID-19 test. Okay, for example, but there is a huge requirement and large number of samples are there. Now you can reduce this number of sample. Now see one example in one city, Nagpur or Aurangabad, they have screened 1,000 samples and out of that only 20-25 samples are positive. Means here we are whatever losing our time to analyze that 75 samples. Means biomarkers are the such a agent which can at least say that yes, you have 96% you have this disease. Now you can go for swab test. You don't have means whatever symptoms or whatever characteristic of that COVID-19, you don't go for a swab test. These are called as biomarkers. Or by using small test, you can identify whether you have cancer, you have lung cancer or different types of cancer or not. These are called as biomarkers. And in that industry also there is a huge scope. But for that you have to do PG and research.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Anything else?
Sir, there is one question from my student. After his B Pharma, he want to start API industry. What is the procedure to start API industry?
Again, same. Actually, there is no that much difference between your whatever the product manufacturing industry and drug industry, means API industry. Same regulatory bodies are there, same regulatory guidance are there. Just requirement is different. Means here you require tablet compression machine, testing devices. Here you require different bulk tank so as to mix or for synthesis purpose. But whatever requirement and regulatory guidelines are same for both industries.
Okay. Anything else?
So I think we have taken enough questions.
Sir, one question is there. We'll read in chat box from this is Saili. For the pharmaco epidemiologist, there is any diploma course or pharma graduates are recruited? Pharmaco epidemiologist.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me, Bhagwat sir?
Yes.
This question from Saili.
Okay.
Are you getting my question or not?
No, sir.
The question is that for the epidemiologist, there is any diploma course or pharma graduates are recruited?
Actually, there are some courses, but if you have good pharmacology practice, then you can do career in this pharmacoepidemiology. Actually, it is utilization of your pharmacological knowledge to check effect of drug in large number of people. Okay, means this is also one emerging field. means data analysis is generally carried out. Actually, I have not heard about pharmacoepidemiology course, but pharmacovigilance courses are there, clinical pharmacology courses are there. But by understanding the detailed pharmacology, you can enter in this field also.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And dear students, see one thing also, this is most important for all of you, because you are choosing as a teacher or Bhagwat sir told, do some diplomas. While doing these diploma courses, you have to check the status of that institute. This is most important thing, because as number of career avenues are growing, as well as means pharmacovigilance is there, clinical pharmacy is there, and many such regulatory courses are there. Many courses are now starting, and some institutes are there, they don't have that much recognition. They just send you study material and give you one certificate, means in the returns of thousands or 10,000s of fees. Don't do such a type of courses. See the content, see the recognition of that institute, see whether that certificate is useful for you or not. Consult with your teacher and then go for diploma, because there are many online courses, they take thousands of fees and give one certificate to you. Yes, your diploma is completed. This is not necessary. See the recognition of that certificate, see what knowledge they are giving, see their study material, see the content of that course, which is feasible to you to work in the industry or not. Consult with your teacher and then go for that course. This is most important thing I want to highlight here.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, very nice and informative session, sir. You have explained
Yes, sir.
and highlighted different domains of domains for pharma graduates. Your knowledge is always appreciable since from our college days. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge, sir. So
Thank you.
I request to Jangde, sir, please conclude this session.
Okay, sir. Very nice, informative session, sir. I think most of
Thank you,
students
sir.
get their answer whatever they asked. Now I'd like to share here a vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. D.A. Bhagwat sir, Assistant Professor, Bharati Vidyapit College of Pharmacy, Kolhapur. I also I'd like to thank Dr. Professor R.A. Kane sir, Executive Director, Principal R.B. Jadhav sir, all the staff members and students from the colleges, Appasai Birla College, Anna Saib Dange College of Pharmacy, Ashta. So, please make your video visible so that we can take the photo. All of you students, I request all of you, please make your video visible. All of you.
I request to all participants enable your video.
Please make it visible.
Ajay Jadhav.
Khade sir. Okay, make it visible.
Meghna Patil, enable your video. Sakshi Jhele, you also. I am not inserting individually. Please all participants enable your videos.
Priti Patak, Meghna Patil, make it visible.
Okay, Nilesh sir, take it.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
This is a certificate of appreciation from Anna Saheb Dange College of Pharmacy, Ashta. Is it visible, sir?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Can you WhatsApp or email me? Yes.
Yes,
Now
yes.
it is visible. Thank
I
you
will-
so much, sir.
I will send it
Certificate.
on mail, sir.
Definitely after this session, we'll send you, sir, by mail.
Okay. Okay. Another thing. Lastly, I want to tell you, if you want to conclude the session.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Continue.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Please
once
continue.
again, I'm thankful to management, principal, and all your staff members and my dear students for your patient listening. And I want to mention here, all students, please thankful to your college management and your enthusiastic staff, because this is one of the very good and informative session they are taking. They have collected lot of expertise for you. So I think you should be thankful to your teacher also, because in this COVID and lockdown situation, lot of colleges are now closed, and in this situation also they are trying to give more and more knowledge for you. So I think you should thank to your college and your enthusiastic teachers. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Shall I
everyone.
leave meeting?
Thank you, everyone, for
Yes, yes.
being here. Everyone. Sir. Continue, sir. Hello, sir. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yes, sir.
I announce
Yes.
that our session concluded
Okay.
here, and we will see you in the next session. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.